Hi, Adam Botana.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And good evening.
This is the Carny To Congress podcast. Used to be the Baywater Boat Club Hour, but we're changing it up now. Got Jake here. You got video. You get to see our pretty faces.
If
you think they're pretty.
If you think they're pretty, I don't know.
Working today, so we're on the dock, having fun, washing boats. It's presented by Baywater Boat Club and Rentals. What's up, Jake? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Good job. Good job on the website there.
Thank you.
So this will be for next week's show. We got a website. We've got the correct name.
We don't have to talk about that.
It's all good. But yeah, we're plugging away. It's week 2.
Week 2. Yeah, I built a website, and it will have absolutely everything. It'll have the Instagram, it'll have the YouTube, it'll have the podcast. I'm trying to keep it nice and neat, but it's mainly
we need to get the website. We need to get the podcast. I mean, YouTube,
Instagram, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
By the time this episode's out, all that will be taken care of. So I really just wanted to kind of hit your story. It's like, hey, like a decent timeline.
Yeah.
Of like when you were born, what you did. There's a few corny things in there.
Corny, it's all good.
Corny. I might want to do a few revised. Maybe get a picture of you on the scooter. I'm just kidding.
Scooter gate.
Ultimately, I like it though. I try to make it like presidential. Like very clean.
Yeah, making a lot of people nervous with this YouTube. They're like, "You're running for Congress." I'm like, I'm already in the state Congress, so it's Carny To Congress.
Yeah, it's not yet. He's not going to be running right this moment, but the idea is to kind of prepare for
People
eventually.
Are like, what's going on? Like, no, it's legislature. That's what I'm doing. I got boats to wash, got a business to take care of, so we're doing that. So we're doing okay.
But boats, as you can see,
we got a few out there. Everything
looks a little different. Last time they were all out.
Yeah,
on the first episode,
exactly. So
they were all out.
After it's afternoon. It's 5:10. We still got a couple boats out, so you might see some people come by because with our boat club, you can keep them out past 5. So we got a captain out with a little sunset cruise on the double decker, which is always fun. And we're gonna take this show on the road, on the boat actually. So we'll figure that out. We'll do one from out of the boat. Maybe a little cooler. We won't just sweat to death, but we'll just driving out there, just put one on the front.
Sweat to death. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt with pants.
You are, yeah.
I'm from here.
So it's that'll be cool. So we're figuring it out. We're figuring out how this podcast is going to work and see if anybody listens to us or not. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I do have to say, because I went and I'm starting to do kind of like the rebranding of the Baywater Boat Club Hour. It's now Carny To Congress. And the last episode we released had the most downloads out of every episode we ever released.
400, huh? Wow.
Something like that. Something like that. Doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, the numbers themselves are actually much better than that. The only thing I can track through our distributor is actual downloads. So someone who downloads it to save it for later. That's pretty much how our analytics is based. But it's, I mean, we have like over 20,000 downloads.
That's pretty good.
Across 200 episodes. I think it was 205 or 206 in the season 1. That was Baywater Boat Club Hour. And
now we're at 208, 206, 207, 208.
Well, no, we're going to start over. We're going to start at 1.
So we're at 1. All right,
we're at number 2, technically. It's number 2.
So we're knocking the dust off. The first time we had some issues, but we're getting better. So I can't have the hands from my face. Remember that from last time. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. So last time we chatted about you, girlfriend coming down, good stuff. Boats, we're doing good here with the business, carnival business. So maybe we should just jump into that a little bit, kind of talk about that. Do we kind of?
I don't think we dove into that a whole bunch the first go around. So
like it was, I was talking today. There's a woman that she ran for school board, and Caitlin's her name. Nice girl, came down from New Jersey, moved down here like 3 years ago. She ran a school board race and like no experience, right? No experience at all. and came within like 200 votes of beating a Republican who was like a past mayor of Estero. And she's asked me for a cup of coffee. I said, sure, be more than happy. Love to chat with you. And kind of friends on Instagram and just talked. And when she first got in there, I always say, hey, it's my number. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. And just talk, right? So we met downtown Bonita for a cup of coffee at Downtown Coffee and Wine. Great place. A couple girls from Hillsdale actually own it. They own a couple places. My mom's going to dinner tonight with Julie to the Bohemian. So they're going to be down there. So that's another restaurant they own in downtown Bonita. Downtown Bonita's blown up. It's awesome. Sugar Shack. We got a thing going on. This coming Thursday, I've got like a legislative update. So by the time this airs, this has already been passed, but these are for friends and stuff like that. Turn my phone off. For friends and just people that start from the beginning, but we'll do another one on here. This is going to get me. Then we're going to like a boat club. We're having a social. Jake, you should come down. April 30th, next Thursday, 6 to 9, just right down there at the Sugar Shack. So food and drinks for members.
Been there a few times actually. The Sugar Shack. It's really nice.
Good time. So we're doing that with like a little member get together. But so we talked, and she's like, "So tell me your story. How did you get involved in politics?" I go back, way back. How to come down here, family's carnival business. So like my grandfather started. He owned a bar in Michigan, Lapeer, Michigan, and built it up. He was a really good pool player because the bar was so bad. They sold like 4 cases of beer a week. Back in the day. So then they ended up selling, I think like 300 or 400 cases. So this is in the 50s. So that my grandmother and him were like pool sharks because they had a pool table and they just played pool all the time. And they figured out, they built it up, sold it, and he worked for a dairy. A dairy in the 50s. They delivered, it was a milkman, ice cream, all this stuff. He was a friend of his. He sold the bar. He said, like, I need to do something. So he went and worked for his friend, just delivered ice cream. And he kept delivering ice cream to this small county fair in Michigan to this guy. Back in the 50s, they would sell nutty dips, is what it was. So the easiest way I can explain, it's like a Klondike bar. So it's actually a block of ice cream that was coming in a pint, and he would cut it, and he would put it on a hard cone. Well, it's like odd looking cone, dip it in chocolate, roll in nuts, and it'd be called nutty dip. And that's something that we sold. It was big in the 50s. And so he loaded up the family and said, we're going to go on the road. He wanted to get out of Michigan, wanted to move down to Florida. So he did that, which was kind of crazy, the stigma of the carnival life. So my mom was born in 57. So this was, all this was going on. My uncle and aunt are 10 and 12 years older than my mom. So they were mortified, right? They lived on a golf course up in Lapeer, Michigan. So it's like on the outskirts of Detroit, Flint.
Okay.
Water was much better probably back then, or that's where they got tore up from Motown there. But anyways, moved down here to Florida, and they starved the first couple of years, but then they ended up figuring it out. And so then they would do, in the summertime, they would do anywhere from 20 to 30 fairs in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and even down south to Mississippi, Muscle Shoals, and all those things like that. So they did a couple different things like that. And it worked out. And what they would do is they would come home in the winter and they would work a regular job. And my grandfather worked at a furniture store. My mom worked banks. Dad worked construction. They kind of figured that out. And this is when they were young. My mom grew into it. My dad married into it. So Omar came over from Cuba in the 60s. Came over, lived in Miami for a week with his parents and my grandparents. My dad was like 12 or 13. He didn't even know how to open a Coke bottle. Like my uncle gave him $5 to go down to the grocery store, just a convenience store. And the first thing he bought when he came to America was a pair of sunglasses and like a Coke bottle. He didn't even know how to open a Coke. So the guy had to show him. So it was kind of cool. But they lived in Miami for a week, and my grandfather had a brother over here, so they drove over to Naples, dropped him off to kind of let him hang out. He's like, this is much better than Miami. So they moved over to Naples. So that's how kind of both of my parents ended up in Naples. So we've been in the area since the 50s. So my mom and dad were like Naples high school sweethearts. And they didn't And they met in Naples High, and it was like out in the sticks. There was split shifts back in the 50s. Oh well, this would have been the 70s. But there were split shifts, so the freshmen and sophomores, I guess, would go in the morning, and then the juniors and seniors in the afternoon. And it was just because there was so many kids and not enough room in the school, they would have like a 6 to 12 and a 12 to 6.
Wow.
So like,
It's odd.
so my mom was great. Like I said, could sleep in and then you go to school. And then my dad, he was in the morning, but then he would go get a job at Wynn's, like Sunshine was called Sunshine grocery store. So he was a bag man there in Naples. So, and we're just doing, I was talking with this nice gal, and she's like, well, I'm from New Jersey, and blah, blah, blah. How'd you get into politics? And then we got into the boat business. So we were in a carnival business. We used to travel all the time, all over the country. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I grew up on a road. I grew up traveling all over. So we did 30 fairs. That's 30 weeks out of the year. And then we got involved in NASCAR, and we did 30 NASCAR races. So that was like a whole nother thing we did. Jake, you've heard this stuff times. But then we did some concerts. So we were George Strait concert. We did like Family Values tour, which was Korn and Limp Bizkit, I think, or something. I don't know. It was just.
What year was that?
That was when I was probably 23, 24.
I was probably there
Most likely.
at one of those.
Family Values tour. We did them in like Kansas City and Alpine Valley.
Any in Florida?
None in Florida. I didn't do
Then
anything
I
in
wouldn't have
Florida,
been
no.
there.
So, but it was very dark. Everybody was wearing black.
It is corn.
It's corn.
With a backwards R.
Yeah. So that was fun growing up, and then we had an issue with NASCAR. We lost half the races like that. We had a dispute with the owner. It was a France family, and they're like, "You're out." And my folks were kind of mortified that we could lose that much business that quick. So we said, you know what, we got to do something different. My mom and dad said, we got to do something different. And turn my camera off, turn back on. So we were parked right over here where that restroom trailer was. My folks had their RV, because we're on a road. We had RVs, we had 15, 20 employees, you had tires, you had bunkhouses, you had people. And when you have people work with you that much, you become their parent. So you're dealing with toothaches and got to take them to the hospital, or they get in a fight and they, one takes a chair and beats the shit out of the other one. All kinds of stories like that, we've had an elephant attack one of our concession trailers. We've had, just nonstop stories, just crazy. We had an elephant pull our equipment out of a sand lot in Fort Myers, a long time on Terry Road. There's just all kinds of different stories like that. But anyways, so we were here, and my mom was sitting here one day, just right out here. It's where my grandfather sat, and seen like a rental boat go by. And I'm like, huh, then another one. It's like, that's interesting. The next day comes here, she sees like another one, and another one go by. Like, huh. It's interesting. Anything going on there. So there was a little boat rental down the road, GNR Boat Rentals, owned by a German guy, I think. And she was out there exercising one day, just stopped in, pick up a brochure, and it was like $100 for the half day, $100, $150 for the full day. And she started thinking, she's like, you know what? That'll pay for the groceries in the wintertime when we're down here. That'll pay for the groceries. And that's how the mentality, that pays for groceries. Because in that business, you're, either you got money or you don't. It's hard to survive when it just goes, up and down, up and down. You need that consistent.
Even when you do really good, you got to put most of it back.
Yeah, because then you end up blowing it in the wintertime, right? Because you didn't have any money. So she told my dad, you know what? We need to go buy a couple boats and rent them out. And that's how Baywater Boat Rental started. That's how the boat business started. So my mom and dad were talking, and I was still doing road. I was doing another theme park in Miami working, and I was excited. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's open a boat run. Like we had boats, like my parents had boats when they were in high school, and I had, when I was younger, they had a boat, like a Mastercraft, it was a ski boat, and we just kind of, when I was like, yeah, we'll try it out. So we went out and bought a couple boats, and then we put up a sign on the roof, and like the city had become a city. Bonita became a city, And they're like, we need a permit. Like, what do you mean permits? There ain't no damn permits. It's Bonita. So we figured out the hard way, and then we had to have a variance. because we had a sign. We're next to a bridge here, and a variance in Latin means pay off. So that's where you go to the city and say, I've got a hardship. You need to see if you can work with us, which they did. And we started with 2 boats, and Freedom Boat Club was renting some slips from my grandmother, and they had like 10 or 12 slips here, and they ended up having like 16 boats here. So there was some kind of, we came back and they were doing some things that weren't the best. With my grandmother was older, nice lady. And so we started growing. We went from 2 boats to 14 in 6 months. Because legit, Jake, I'm not kidding. Like right here in our office, which is now going to be our ship store, we put a sign up, says coming soon, and we gave my grandmother like some papers, hey, we're going to open January 16th. And so this was this was Christmas week. My grandmother went through 50 papers, because what happened when we were getting ready to open, there was like 5 rentals locally from like South Fort Myers Beach to North Naples. And 4 of them closed for condominiums. So what a condominium is, they would tear down the marina and they would build just dry stack slips, and you would buy a slip for your boat, which was going on. That was a boom. That was in '04.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people coming down at that time.
Oh,
too.
yeah, that's still kind of like that crazy. Everybody was coming down, of booming economy. And my grandma was like, I got tired of talking to people because they kept pounding on my door. So we opened up January 14th, 2004. We sent 2 boats out, and we made it. And that was the start of Baywater, and that's how it kind of like started. And then our boat club, we were here, and then we just started buying more boats and just figuring like, hey, this is good. Let's do this. Let's go. It was just, we didn't even know how to change a prop. We didn't know how to change a prop. Like we had an idea, but we didn't really know. The boats we bought were pretty bad. Like the pontoons, one would go up over the wave, and then the other one would come. Like it was pretty bad. It had a lot of flexing. But then we learned. You learn, right? You figure it out. And it was great because my grandmother was here, and she liked it because we were around and we hung out. She'd come out and play Mahjong on a computer. We had like just a little office over there, just a little tiki hut, kind of small in a shed, and we just sit there and play the computer like it was in a work shed over here. It's the first time in an office over there. Like I played World of Warcraft, because it was just 2 boats. Like I wore flip-flops every day. It was just easy. Like I had my little puka shirt. You had the shirt,
I could never imagine playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I played it, beat it, like job done, and then I never played the game again. I was done. Over.
Me and you are very similar.
Yeah, it's just I played it once. It was cool.
One and done for me.
The orcs and all that. Like it was fun, but I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm over that. But it was fun. It was. My dad's like, you lost your tan from being inside all the time from playing. You got white. But so then Freedom was renting from us, and my dad was here, and I was like, well, hell, we could just do that. We'll just do it better. So we did. So we opened the boat club and kicked them out. And they wouldn't leave because they got a piece of paper so that we could stay here forever. So we said, you got to go. And then so 2 months went by. We raised their rent. They wouldn't leave. So we got typical Carny fashion, 600 foot of steel cable. And on a Friday, chained all their boats to the dock, locked them up, and blocked the parking lot. So you can't park here if you're with Freedom. And left them. So, woo, they were mad. They were like, we went... we had an attorney, and the attorney's like, you need to unlock. I'm like, no, they're not listening. So we waited till like Sunday, then we unlocked them. So
Waited through the weekend. It's crazy.
people are like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, hey, well, got their attention. So we just left that chain there, and then we went to court, and court had to get to court, and the judge is like, Freedom, yeah, you got 30 days. You got to go. This is null and void. People, you cannot stay here in perpetuity forever and pay the same amount. So they went next door. So now they're still next door. They rent from our neighbors. So we own both sides of them. But we're right down here on Beach Road, Bonita Springs, Baywater Boat Club. We're right down here on exit 116, 2 miles west of 41. If you see us, we're over at Coconut Jacks on the right-hand side. But yeah, we're here. We got boat rentals. We got boat club. We got 60 boats in our club. Just over 500 members in our club. It's a great club. Fun, easy way to go out on the water and just enjoy it. Simple. Pay a membership to get in. Your dues every month gives you unlimited access to all our boats. It's great option. So that's how we're at here. And then, so family business, a lot of fun. My mom, my dad, my brother, love Derek. He's come and gone, been here, did a couple other things, did some things on by himself and figured it out and did well and came back and like it was a lot. Like my folks lived here, I lived here, then my folks lived here, then like the crash came, so they lived back here again, and they moved back out. They bought a house, just kind of crazy stuff from '08 to everything was kind of nuts. And
Oh, I remember.
it was kind of crazy, and it was good. I mean, it's a great business, but it's family, right? It's tough. It's very tough. So, remember my brother. Love my brother. Hope he never watches this. But anyways, love my brother. But he's a guy that, he would go in the office and like, I just need help with my lunch break. I need you to help me a little bit.
You're good. I think it just took a little nap.
Took a little nap. Hello. Oh, there you go. I don't know.
We're still learning here, guys.
So we're figuring it out. So my brother was my brother, right? It's brotherly love. Like it's Jake. This is pretty funny. So he would go in for lunch because we lived here, right? And he'd go into into the house and he would take lunch. Like, I'm getting hungry, man. I gotta eat. Like I'm cuddly. I need some food, right? And I go in there and he's gone for like an hour. Okay, an hour and a half. Like, what the hell is going on here? So I peeked through the window and he's watching the History Channel. I'm like, what the hell? I'm trying to eat lunch. I'll get his ass. So I went around the house and I unplugged the cable. Just open the box, unplug the cable. Give it a minute. Here he comes. I don't know what happened to TV. Something going on. You want to go to lunch? I'm like, yeah. Just plug it back in. Go to lunch. He goes, oh, the TV's working now. It's like, oh, great. This is the kind of stuff. Family business, right? So, love everybody. Love family. All that stuff. And there was some, going on. My brother disappeared again. Like, what the hell's going on here? So, we decided to go to family. There's more to it, but I ain't going to put that all out on that. So, we all decided to go to family counseling. And I was like, okay, we'll go to family counseling. And it's just staying blue now. It's green, so that's fine. Oh, there we go. The camera's crazy. But anyway, so we decided to all go to family counseling. We all go to family counseling. And the shrink, nice guy. And so we have our first meeting. I got my yellow pad. I got pages. And he's like, well, we're concerned about this and that. We go to a few meetings, go from there, and we have discussions with the family. Best thing we ever did. Best thing we ever did for the whole family. Great. It's awesome. I'm looking at Jake when I'm talking here, so that's why I'm looking over. Best thing we ever did because we learned a lot. Learned a lot of different dynamics, a lot of different personalities. And it was good. And the psychiatrist is like, you know what? You need a hobby. I go, excuse me? He goes, yeah, you need a hobby. We did these personality tests and stuff, and he's like, you got a high processing rate, and you're a goal-driven asshole. So I agree with that. Just
Honesty's the best policy, man.
Goal-driven asshole. Okay. He says, but you need a hobby. You need to just take a step back with your dad and your brother. Just take a step back and figure out what is best. And I was like, okay, I'll figure that out. I'll try to do it. So I'm taking the pledge here again. Whatever. And here, so do that hand. So it's like you need to take golf, do something. Like, all right. So when that was all going on, in our boat club, there's one of our club members came to me at a boat show. John Pipenbrink, cool guy, been a member. He's from like Illinois, Kankakee, Illinois. Member. He's like, hey Adam, you interested in being appointed by the governor? I'm like, yeah, love to. The head boat washer. Be awesome. Can't wait to go to Rotary and be like, yo, bitches, look who got appointed.
Head boat washer.
He
State.
Goes, there's this FWC board, Florida Fish and Wildlife Board, that talks about like boating. And I was talking to my son, he works with the governor. If I knew anybody that, and I said, yeah, I'd love to. So, like, his son calls me, and his name is Brad Pipenbrink, and he's like, you want to be appointed by the governor? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about property rights? I'm like, it's my property. Get off my property. Okay. He's like, well, here's the link. Fill this out, and we'll be in contact. I'm like, cool. So I fill out the link. Not very computer savvy. I'm like, hunting and pecking. And like 2 months go by, I tell a couple buddies like, hey man, I might get appointed. I go, okay, cool. 2 months go by, 3 months go by, 4 months, like, they passed me over. Somebody else. They didn't like what I seen. So then like 6 months later, get a phone call like, hey, are you interested? I'm like, yes. You never filled out the application. I'm like, yeah, I did. No, you didn't. Okay, so then I had my receptionist, hey, help me out with this, and we did it, filled it all out, hit submit, and I was appointed by who's our senator, Rick Scott. So I was appointed by Rick Scott, and so we met like 2 or 3 times a year. The boating advisory council around the state, you'd go and you meet there, and they you go there for this meeting and hotel room, and you have a dinner and talk about what's going on, and just what recommendations you can make to the legislature, for this. And it's like, okay, this is cool. It's neat. Can't complain. This is fun. And then Rick Scott became our senator, and then Ron DeSantis won, and that was going on. And I just started kind of getting involved, like who's what in politics. Like I didn't even know. Like I'm a boat washer, Carny, GED, like 6th grade education, no lie. Didn't get my GED until I was 22 because a girl told me, like, why don't you go try to do it? I did it. It's kind of crazy. You're always embarrassed about it when you're younger. I remember going to Rotary and people be like, what year did you graduate? I'm like, it was like, well,
I always lie and just say 2012.
Yeah, but that's, you just got to figure out. So I was 2002 because I'm, 10 years older. And, but anyways, so, water quality got real bad down here, Southwest Florida. Like it was really bad. I mean, we're on the front page of the Post, the Times.
It was national news.
It was bad. They had whale sharks. There's manatees, dolphins. It was horrible. Affect our business, And so is at these boat shows that we go to because of the business. They're like, hey, why don't you go to Tallahassee? There's this fly-in, and why don't you go to Tallahassee and fly in and represent us and tell your story, how you're in the boat business and you've been appointed by Rick Scott. That'd be good. Okay, I've never been to Tallahassee. This would be interesting. Cool, yeah, sign me up. Yeah, we'll send you. Okay. So I go over to Fort Lauderdale, pick out the dates, go to Fort Lauderdale. Never been to Tallahassee, fly up on Silver Airways. If anybody knows flights, Silver Airways is scary. It's like the old Sobs. It's late 90% of the time. But I made it. My buddy never even made it there. Stayed at the Hotel Duval in Tallahassee. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool. Got to Tallahassee, like, well, this is like Southern Georgia. It's not really Florida.
No.
But it's, it was neat. So, met, okay, we got this dinner, went to a dinner, and there's people like from CV, and there's people from like Towboat, and a couple other things going on there. It was interesting, So I had a jacket. Like I went and bought a jacket. I had jeans and a button down. That's the only jacket I ever had. Like that's the first jacket I think I might have bought one from Tom James because the girl was cute. I was like, oh, I'll buy something from you, sure. Typical. So I went there, and I thought it was like the peak, right? Like if you were elected, you were the tip of the sword. Like wow. And I went up there, and I was like, what the hell? This is who, but they're just people, right? You're like, This is who represents us. And I didn't even know my representative. I mean, I didn't know who Ray Rodriguez was. I didn't know who Elizabeth Benaquista was. That was our state rep. That was our senator. I didn't know who Kathleen Pasadomo is. That's one of our senators. I didn't know any of it. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll figure this out. And so we start walking around the building. And I remember walking around with a couple lobbyists, some other people. And I just said my story, like, yeah, that's what I'm about, blah, blah, blah. And there was a guy there, a buddy of mine, I'm still friends with him, and he worked for a senator out of Tennessee. And he's like, dude, you should do this. You got it. And he's like, you're young. You got this figured, you could do this. I'm like, huh? What? And it just started sitting there. I was like, oh, you know what? The doctor said I needed a hobby. Wait a second. So you're telling me, I'm not lying, like 2 months during season I get to come up to Tallahassee and kind of represent my people? This could be fun. This could be like a cool thing. Like, sign me up. This could be fun. And I was like, I don't know. And we just started talking, and then we went the next day, and I was there, and there's like this little restaurant, Harry's. And it's a restaurant right there, and there's a condo right there. And I was like, you know what? That's the next day I was there alone. I was like, you know what? I should do this. Get a condo, come up here for a couple months out of the year. It's like 6 weeks and then 2 months in session. Little did I know. This could be a good time. So I'm plane ride home. I'm looking at the seat, who's my district, because that plane flew so low, you still had service. Like, I didn't listen to turn on plane mode. I just kind of kept looking. But I seen the seat where this was District 76. Well, it's Bonita, Estero, Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, Pine Island. I'm like, well, that's my people. That's where my business is. That's where my Rotary Club is. So I started looking, all right, who's running? Okay, maybe I'll be senator. No, the guy who's a representative is running for Senate. Okay, so that's kind of locked up. Well, there's this guy running for this seat, and he's a councilman from Sanibel. He's raised like 50 grand or something. And I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's running. So I come back, I tell my dad, I go, hey, Dad, I'm going to run for state rep. What do you think? He's like, do it. He bleeds red, white, and blue, right? He's Cuban. Mom's like, yeah, why not? He's probably like, get out of my hair. I don't deal with you no more. And so he supported it. And so we started talking about it. Like, I just took my business cards that said head boat washer on it, wrote on the back Anna Botana, like I had my receptionist write, in nice handwriting, District 76, and just started just doing it. Went to a couple of meetings, and people are like, you can't do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm just talking to people. I'm completely out of my shell, completely out of my comfort zone. And I was like, I know people, I'll figure it out. I can talk to people. Being raised in a carnival business, I can talk to anybody. I can size pretty much anybody up. And I met the guy from Sanibel. I was like, I can beat this guy. He's a real tall Irish guy and an attorney. So I was intimidated. Like, I was not that cocky, but I was like, I could probably beat him, maybe. So I started like getting excited about it and start talking to people, and people are like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Go to my buddies who I played cards with once a week, a couple times a month. We play cards, and he's like, you need to do this, do that. I knew somebody. You start talking, and everybody, and some people were like really excited for you. Some people were like, what? You got to get involved in politics? So I'm like, yeah, I know. I need a hobby. You get away from the marina. It's a real situation. So started doing it, and I started meeting like people from Bonita, like Estero Chamber, people from the Estero City Council. And like I met with a couple guys from the Estero City Council, like, oh, you need to go meet Elizabeth Benequisto. She's our past senator. Those are like the guy running from Sanibel, your opponent, allegedly, supposedly, if you run. Like, okay, Ray Rodriguez has a kickoff tonight. You should go check that out. Like, a couple days. Like, all right, let's set up a meeting. Sure. And I went to this kickoff and just met Elizabeth Benequisto, who's our senator. And I'm like, hey, I'm Adam Botana. I'm running for District 76. She's like, whose seat is that? I go, that's Ray's seat. Ray Rodriguez, the one that Jason Mon is running in. And she's like, oh, I guess you didn't like this guy. So whatever. She goes, well, somebody walks over. His name's Tim Baker. Tim, I sent him to you. He's my campaign consultant. So I waited around, man. I waited around. I knew one guy there. This thing was downtown Fort Myers. I didn't know anybody. Waited around. And at the end there, just waving like, hey. It's like, oh, met Tim. Can you raise 100 grand? I'm like, sure. Can you knock on 10,000 doors? I'm like, yeah. I don't know what the hell I was doing. He's like, all right, well, we'll be in contact. And then I took a card, we exchanged cards, and that was it. So like a week later, like I'm feeling good now. Like I'm on top of the world. I got this. Like this could be easy. A week later, like the whole Estero Council endorses my opponent from Sanibel. And I was like a gut shot because I talked to these guys, and I couldn't sleep. I was like, what am I doing? I haven't done anything yet. Am I going to do this? And I was up. I couldn't sleep. And I think that was like the first time I couldn't really organize, like real world problems, right? So you know what? I'm going to flip a quarter. If it's heads, I'm staying in. If tails, I'm out. I'm not going to worry about it. I flipped the quarter. It was heads. It's still on my windowsill above my sink in my house. It's like doing it. And it just kind of worked out. And then the momentum started turning. And I talked to the campaign guy like a month later because I was freaking out because he didn't call me back. And so then this guy in Sanibel started raising money. Like he started raising like 100 grand, and I didn't have zero in there. And we started talking, and he's like, "Yeah, do this, gotta do that, gotta do this." And I just started working. And he's like, "All right, we'll do a kickoff in August. That's a year out from the campaign because it's primaries. They're important down here. It's a super R spot, Republicans. So this is a big thing. That's one of our boats coming back. And this is, we got to win the primary. So we go over to Coconut Jack's, talk to Melissa over there. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a little get together and have my campaign kickoff. Can you help?" She goes, "Sure. Where do you want to go? You want to go inside or outside?" I go, "Well, I like to go inside because it's August. It's gonna be hot. She's like, "Well, how many people are you thinking?" I'm like, maybe 100. And I was like, like, oh, she goes, "Okay, we'll figure something out. We'll do the food and you just a cash bar." Great, lady. Okay. It was like a month out. So I file. I start putting stuff in there, and then the phone calls. I get the phone calls. Campaign managers, just hire the campaign manager. You can do it. So we get to the event, and my buddy, the campaign guy, local guy, is like, "You'll get 50 people." My Tim Baker said, "You'll get maybe 80." So we're there, and we're starting to go, and Jake, people just started lining up and coming, and there was 200 people that showed up. 200 people that showed up to my event, which was crazy. Like I was blown away. Like, holy crap, there's a lot of people here. And this was in August, and she had like a busy day. Like she was working a bar because people were drinking and stuff like that. The owner of the restaurant's behind the bar making drinks, And I was like, maybe I got something here. Then again, we had, then we had probably 400 members in our boat club. I belong. Now we're close to 600, and now I'm part of the chamber and Rotary clubs. I mean, everybody just showed up, and I was like, wow. Like I had friends like, I ain't going there. There's a line down the street, just valets backed up trying to get in there, and we raised 26,000 that night, and we kicked in 50, family and myself. So we kicked in 50, so we got to 76. So we caught up to 100 really quick, and then we raised some more, and we kind of I remember he talked to a friend of mine that didn't know that I knew him. He goes, "Yeah, this boat washer's running down in Bonita Springs," and the guy goes, like, he's got like one of the biggest marinas in Southwest Florida. Like it's a legit business, But hey, let him underestimate you is always the best. We caught up to him, and we raised 100, and then he raised 150, then we raised 150, and it was just all $1,000 checks, $500 checks, $100 checks, and just kept going. And then in January, we started knocking on doors, and I told Tim I was going to knock on 10,000 doors, and that was my goal. And I just started knocking, and my dad's like, "Take 3 days a week and just do it, 9 to 5. Okay." He's like, "If you're going to do this, let's do it. Do it. I'll pay you. Just get, I think my dad wanted to get me out of here for a little bit.
Oh, give me a break.
Give me a break. And then I just started doing it like 7 days a week. Like I didn't care Sundays. I was just doing it. It was just motivation, 150 doors a day, 100 doors a day. It was hot. Like I lost 30 pounds just door knocking.
You got it back.
Oh yeah.
You found it.
Cuddly. But yeah, so then that was through April. So that was January, April. Then COVID came, and it was scary because everything shut down. We didn't know what we were doing. That was in 2020, right? COVID, and like I can't knock on people's doors because people didn't know what was going on. I remember like some crazy stuff. So then I started raising PC now. So like we took a month off, see what happens. And then, May came around, and my campaign consultant's like, "You need to raise PC money. You need to raise like money." I'm like, okay. So at that time I knocked on 5,000 doors. So I start calling my people that gave me, that donate, people that gave me donations and said, "Hey, I'm starting a PC, a political action committee for my campaign. I need to raise money. My opponents raised like 250. We're at 175. I need to raise money." And they're like, "Well, what do you need?" I go, "Well, how about you give me $1 a door?" They're like, "Well, how many doors have you knocked on already, Adam?" I go, 5,000. I raised like 80 grand in a day, which was crazy. That was nuts. And then I had like members, one lady give me a $10,000 check, which was like, you remember your first $500 check? You remember your first 100? remember your first 500. You remember your first 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, right? But Jake, I made, which was crazy, $2,500 at the door. Like I had a lady give me a $500 check because I knocked on her door, and it's to my. It wasn't personally to me, but it was to my campaign. I made like I think $4,000 at the door. People just giving me checks. It was cool. I remember Quigley, Dr. Quigley. Like I broke into his gated community. Like I broke into gated communities to get in there behind those doors. I remember knocking on his door, and he's like, "Oh, I know you. You're at the boat club hour, and you know, yeah, my family owns Bay Water. We're running for clean water. Water quality is a big concern. Yeah, you make sense." By the time I ended and I gave him a brochure, he gave me $1,000 by the time I was at the end of his driveway. Just give me $1,000. Like you knock on my door, you got my boat. So at the end, so May, June, July, I was done by July door knocking. Well, no, August. It would have been August. 10,237 doors. That's what I knocked on. That scooter came in handy. Like I said, after COVID, but I was like, "Well, we'll get you a scooter." So I had like this electric scooter, like this bird, you know, like you can rent in like New York and DC. It was great because you get like a little breeze then. Because you're not knocking on every door, you're knocking on super Republican doors. So those are like people who vote every election, every primary. So it's a really targeted group. And of those 10,000 doors, you know, I probably 50% of them were home. So you talk to 5,000 people. So the election comes. At the end, we raised $300,000. He had raised $300,000. Polling that we were doing said we were up like 10, 15 points. That night, we beat him by 19 and a half points. So door knocking, grassroots, right? You know, business. I had Main Street, and I had the grassroots. And that's when we won. It was crazy. And that was how I got into politics. And then did it, been up there. First year was crash course. What the hell am I doing up here? You know, people are like, "What are you doing up here?"
It's the same thing you did with the boat club.
Yeah, it's just like
it's the same concept.
Yeah, just do it.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. But then we figured it out, and coming into my almost last term now. This will be my 6th year there. We're not done with this session yet. We're still working on the budget, still doing some other stuff, but we'll get into that other times. But it's been a great ride. It's been awesome. Like it's a cool experience. It's just anybody to do it. Yes. You know, we need just normal people to run. You don't have to be special. Just need normal. Just need normal people. That's always joke. I'm like, #normal. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the way it is. I'm not going to bullshit you. This is what we can do. This is what we can do from the state. We can help you out. I can help you with a permit. I can call somebody. I can rattle somebody's cage because I'd love doing that. You know, rattling cages. Everybody has a boss. But, you know, it's been fun. And, like, just to bring it full circle, I was talking to that girl this morning, woman, and she's like, "Wow, that's, like, a great story." I was like, "Yeah." I mean, and she's like, "Well, I'm a Democrat because I'm from New Jersey and I identify." I'm like, "If you're going to run here, you can't be a Democrat. That's the way it goes." Well, I just don't really, you know, they've gone so far one way. I go, "Yeah."
Well, so have they.
Yeah, I mean, well, but
what's the difference?
She's like, I said, well, the Republican tent has grown, the Democratic tent has shrunk. You know, all they care about is the ultra elite and the
welfare vote. I'll say it because he can't.
Yeah, well, not a welfare vote, but I mean, just like the what was Obama? What was his title? Damn it, I can't even think of it. Somebody that's just like out there, you know, just thumping for every, I can't even think what it is. Activist is an activist, right? They all, like the Democratic Party's gone full activists. You don't have like normal people, which is tough, you know? Raise my hand. Yeah, there we go. It's tough. And it, like I told her, we agree on 80% of the stuff that happens in Tallahassee. Like one of my better friends is a Democrat, you know? And I mean, that's the same thing in D.C. Reagan and Tip O'Neill used to drink at the White House bourbon. You know, they had they'd have a policy meeting and then talk, you know, I mean, because there's certain things you agree on. But we agree on most of the stuff, but it's not so polarizing as the phones make it out to be. It's not that bad. But, you know, there's a lot of good people on both sides and you got to work it. I mean, there's the activists on both sides that are like so far, and it's kind of crazy. But I was just talking to her. She's like, I just don't identify. I go, we need to drop the labels. We're all just people in the day. I mean, you're a Democrat. You're in my district. I'm going to represent you. What's your concern? I'm going to hear you out. I'm not. And some people go like full on like I'm like, you can't get angry. It's not worth it.
We're both Americans.
I'm not gonna get angry with you. But she was good. It was a good chat. I was like, you need to just get involved. And she's like, well, how do I run? I go, focus on your business. Focus on your business. You work at your business, then everything else will come. If you're trying to run for politics, you can't go to school to become a poli-sci major in political science.
Yeah, don't make it a.
Yeah, it's not a career.
Thank you.
And it's funny because like we're in Tallahassee, you see so many kids that go to FSU and they want to become a poli-sci major because they want to. I'm not saying it's bad.
You got to experience.
You just need to know. You got to like. I think with my upbringing, like at 14, I was driving semis. I was driving trucks for my parents.
You shouldn't have been.
No, it's illegal, but we don't have enough drivers. We drive the equipment. We were in a convoy. I was in the middle, so I was driving semi truck when I was 14. Had like a little stash, kind of looked like yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that's what happened. That's I had a crew at like 15, 16. Like I was running a NASCAR unit. At 16, I had 6 guys working for me. Like I had trucks rolling over the road, and I was running around the country. It's probably illegal. Most likely it is. But that's my upbringing. So I've dealt with people, and I think it's been good. It's been good for me in the legislature because, call bullshit when I see it. And there's a lot of people that there, and you're reading people, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to navigate it, you're trying to work with other, and you don't know what you get in Tallahassee. I mean, you don't know what you get in politics. It's whoever their people vote for and bring it up there. And you got 120 representatives in Florida. And I have to say, every Floridian is represented in the state. Everybody. From the truck driver to the boat washer to the disc jockey to the producer, everybody is represented in the state of Florida. You can identify with a few people up there. But it's fun and it's great. Love taking care of my area. Love rattling cages and doing things that need to be done. A lot of representatives don't. Like, I'll pick up my phone in my office. Hey, this is Adam. How can I help you? And like, just want to say you're doing a good job. Thank you. Because some people just want to call and complain, which we have staff there for it, and they want to call and complain. And, I remember one lady, and, she called the office and she was upset because the governor had cut like $200 or $300 million in arts around the state, and she called and she was not happy. So I'll talk to her. So I talked to her, nice lady, and she's like, I don't understand why he did that. I go, well, ma'am, I understand where you're coming from, miss. And I go, you got to realize Fort Myers Beach has been wiped out by Hurricane Ian, and they needed a new city hall. It was $16 million. Fort Myers Beach Fire, when they liked me, I got them $14 million from the state to rebuild a fire station. It's a lot of money right there. Sometimes you got to cut to make things happen. You got to cut to make things go through the budget, because that's what happens. And she's like, well, I don't agree with you, but I appreciate you calling for me, and I will vote for you, even though I'm a Democrat. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I mean, that's the little things that make a difference, because you just answer the phone. You do things like that. But it was fun, like, talk to her this morning and just kind of feel how she's feeling. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I want to run for school board. I want to do this. I'm like, well, do it. But you gotta realize, there's stuff that happens that you gotta deal with, and go from there. So we're gonna get Jake to be something here pretty soon. Get him appointed by the governor.
Let me know.
Do something.
If there's anything at all I could do for men's health, I'd do it.
Men's health.
Yeah, because these boys, man, they're rough. They're bad. They've got no one to look up to, Adam. It's really bad for them. I've been doing secretly, been helping with some stuff with a couple programs for
Good.
a couple of different local high schools.
Nice.
Nothing that I can really talk about out loud
No.
because it's mainly behind the scenes stuff.
that's
But I have
cool,
a lot of mentors and stuff like that reach out to me, and I try to influence. I'm mentoring one young man who's 18 years old. He's very, very smart. Can't really divulge too much
Yeah,
because
no,
he's
no,
a
it's a
young
kid.
kid,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know, he's very, very, very intelligent, and we meet about like once a month. We just, you know, mainly over phone calls, stuff like that. I don't have time to go and
Yeah.
sit down and eat, but yeah, that's
That's
pretty
cool,
much
man.
what I try
I'm proud
to
of
do.
you. That's awesome.
Well, thank
It
you.
gives you something back, right? Because it's cool. You like to see that kid grow.
It
You know.
is, and it's like if I can help him to get past some of the troubles and things that I dealt with when I was at that exact same position that he's in, and also to just because he wants to do what I do, kind of, and to be able to mold him and teach
Yeah.
him and push him in the right direction of where you should be focused on, because you know my industry is changing daily based on artificial
AI.
intelligence and stuff, which a lot of other people, I really don't think you're going to have to worry about it as much as the media tries to scare you, but my job is a little different.
Ones
So
and twos. That's good though. I mean, that's great. Like even here at the marina, I mean, we have tons of kids that work here, and my dad was, a lot of these guys don't ever like, go get a Phillips head. What's a Phillips head?
they don't know.
Go get a channel lock. What's a channel lock? So you got to go there and show them, and they learn a lot, which is good because there's not many dads, which I don't understand.
I don't get it either, man.
I don't get it. I think, just you don't have to go to college. Look at us. I mean, we're both GED kids, both stuff going on. We're doing well, but you don't have to go to college to have a career. You can be a AC guy, you can be a plumber, and you can make money. You can do all that, and you don't have to do you don't have to go like I know I'm trying to help out one of my friends' kids. I mean, he's going to a good school in Naples, and I try to help him with FSU, and he's like, no, I don't want to go into the community school for 6 months and then you transfer over. No, it's an insult. I'm like, really? I'm like, buddy,
It doesn't matter.
it,
It doesn't matter.
nobody knows.
That's what I mean. It's like it's not a badge.
But I don't want to say that it's tough on a kid because he comes from a school and everybody's going to different schools, and
It's the peer pressure, though.
It's the peer
just
pressure.
it's the people around them.
yeah, and that's not good.
No,
That's not good.
that's what I'm trying to change.
Yeah,
It's like there's a lot of misinformation, and
Yeah.
listen. I go through the same thing. You know how many times people come up to me, ask me where I graduated and where I went to school at, and it's like I have to break it to them. Like I've been doing all this for 12 years. I didn't go to school.
no,
I didn't go to school.
no. I mean, that's what you have to do. Sorry, there. I'm just double
No, you're
checking.
fine. I didn't magically learn either. I basically apprenticed, like an apprentice does. I was in the industry and just kind of floated and learned as much as I possibly could. And I feel like today, and today's day and age with AI, artificial intelligence, it's probably smart to just try to jump in head first, because and this is, I might get in trouble for this, but a lot of the applications that I feel like are the strongest that I've had come across my way are the ones who haven't developed this keen sense of they know what to do based off of what someone told them. Go to school, you learn how to do something a specific way. We might do it a little bit different. You might do it a little bit different. They might do it a little bit different. So it's just, you go to school, it's great. I'm not saying not to, but just be open to different workflows.
Going to school and getting a degree says that you can show up and do something. Okay, but there's a friend of mine, Michael Nightshift, and there's this old saying, I've brought it up many times, called 10-80-10. Okay? It's everybody right there. It's 10-80-10. 10% of the people are going to drag you down. 80% are just going to do enough to get by. And 10% are overachievers. Be that top 10%. Because it's 10-80-10, man. 10% of people are just going to drag you down. 80% of people are just going to just do enough. And then 10% are the overachievers. I was talking to these kids because, like in Tallahassee, you have like this page and messenger program where you can, like I get one page or a messenger and I can, submit them to go through the process, and it's like a week-long class during session, and they get on the floor and they become messengers and pages. Like if I need a Coke, I hit a button when I'm on the floor and it'll like a 12-year-old comes up like, hey, can I help you? Like, yeah, can I get a Coke? Sure. Okay. Can I get an iced tea? And they run and go get your stuff and bring it back, and they got their jackets. And who are they? What a. And I remember I was talking to this kid. I was just going there and I talked. I'm like, hey, who in this class has made it to sixth? Who's in sixth grade right now? And usually like 5, 6 hands go up. I go, that was the last time that's my last year of schooling. And their heads explode. Like, what? I'm like, but you need to finish school. Listen to your parents. But I'm just telling you. And I just start off with that. And they're just kind of like, their minds melted, and then we just start talking. And there was this kind of a cocky kid. He was a teenager. He's like, so you just have to be, what do you say? You're telling me you just have to be aggressive in work and just be, what was it? There was a word he used, it was pretty good. He says you just have to be charismatic at the door to win. I'm like, no. If you want to be a poser, but just be real and just try to figure out what people want. Just don't run to run. Run because something. Me was water quality, and I seen who else was running, and I was like, I can do way better than that. I don't need this dick here, And then realistically, that's what it was. I needed a hobby, and here we are. Now, fast forward, my dad retired. I bought the business. My brother's no longer here. And, this is mine now. Kind of come full circle. Yeah. I had to take a step back, and it's worked out, and we're here, So it's cool. It's great. And I got a lot of gray hair, but it's part of it, You'll catch up to me.
I'm getting there.
One day. But, but let me, he's like, yeah, should you just be charismatic? No, buddy, that's not the deal. Right?
It helps.
No, just work hard. That's why I told him 10, 80, 10. Be the top 10%. Don't be the 80. Show up. Hey, I don't like getting up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I ain't gonna lie, I show up here 8:01. But that's I live the closest. That's not good. I need to work on that.
Hey, at least you're getting to work at 8:00.
That's just the thing, and that's not good. But hey, that's we all go through stuff, and but you're here late, and it's definitely not 9 to 5. It's more like 5 to 9. When it comes to your own business, and you're kind of seeing it now. You're kind of getting involved and doing your thing, and from there. So.
Yeah, I know. It's things can go wrong at 2 a.m., brother. You got to get up and go.
Yeah, the phone call started. We got dead air.
Oh, I get them all the time.
Like I was at Jake's office one time, and there's like a strobe light. I was like, "What's that?" He goes, "Oh, that lets us know when there's dead air. There's an alarm that comes on." I was like, "Oh, shit."
Oh, it the whole studio lights up like a Christmas tree.
It's like, somebody's falling asleep. It's like a dead man switch, right?
Now we got 13 of them. We got to keep track of.
How many radio stations? 13 radio stations.
13 radio stations.
I know you got positive 99X, which is hilarious.
99.3.
Okay, because 99X was like the hardcore for the longest time. Did you know that?
Yeah, my dad was a DJ at 99X.
Okay, yeah, that was
I went to X Fest all the time as a kid.
Now
That's
it's
like my first
positively
concert.
99.
I love it, man.
That's cool.
It's great. The market didn't really have. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a couple other Christian stations, I believe.
Is it like Christian rock or
pretty much 95%?
Okay, I was thinking
95%.
because I was like, what? Like 99X is now positive 99. It's like,
hey, that's how match chains happen.
That's funny. That's funny. I mean, hey, it works. You want positive, and it's Jason Jones. You want positive? Tune into 99.3.
I love that man. He's doing good.
All right.
He's doing all right. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I know a lot of the music's from going to church.
Yeah.
So like, it'll start playing, and I'll start singing along, and people will look at me crazy.
Go get it.
And
oh,
she's fine.
So Nuggets here playing. She's like, what are we doing, Dad?
Yeah, we've got 13, man.
There ain't even that many genres of music.
Always a couple of them share. We got a couple twofers.
You got Trump Country, right?
Correct.
So Trump Country. What about 1019? Is that you?
No, you want me to name them all off right now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know.
We've got 92.5 WFSX Fox News. We've got 93.7 Trump Country. We've got 94.5 The Arrow, which is a classic rock.
Classic rock, yeah.
We've got 96.1, which is 96K Rock.
Okay.
96.9, which is Wink FM.
I remember that when I was a kid. My mom listened to it like 70s, 80s, and today.
Oh,
Now it's 80s, 90s, and today.
80s, 90s, and now.
Now it's 90s, 2000s, or whatever. Yeah. I always remember my mom in her car, 96.9.
So 96.9, we've got 97.7 Latino.
Okay.
Where am I at? We've got 98.5, which is Fly, the hip hop station. I'm gonna miss one, man. And I'm 99.3, Positively 99. Then we have Wave 101.
Okay.
We have
Champagne.
B103.9.
Okay.
And then we have Sunny 106.3.
106.3.
And I'm probably Maxima. I don't know the one from
So what's
Maxima,
Cat
and then
Country?
the sports station as well
So that's
too.
not
We have
you
the Fan.
guys.
No, Cat Country is I can't remember.
You got Cat Country and Gator. So you got like three. We have three Trump Country. Because it used to be light 93.7.
Correct. Yeah, back in the day it was
Yeah, it was
93.7
93.7 light. I remember like you would start.
It was also a rock station. It was 93X at one point in time.
Okay.
And then
I remember like it would start playing Christmas music the day after Thanksgiving and go all the way to the 1st.
yeah. We were always ready for that.
That's funny.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I forgot one. But that was pretty much the haul. My haul is only 11, so I really only have to deal with 11 myself, and it's not just me. We've got plenty of people who work there at that building. So
That's funny.
it's a massive building.
Yeah, you got paper too. Don't you? The News Press, Naples. Not
Yeah,
News
so we've
Press.
got Naples. We
Naples
got
Press.
Gulf Shore Life, Naples Press, and then there's another one I'm sure I'm forgetting. Plus Wink News. Now Fox 4, which is merged with Wink. A lot. There's a lot going on in that building. Thankfully, I have my own little nook in Radio Row, and I'm,
Yeah.
I just go to my
Gulf
studio.
Shore
do my
business
stuff.
is pretty good. There's a Gulf Shore. Yeah.
We have Gulf Shore Life.
Gulf
we have
Shore
Gulf
Life.
Shore Business.
Yeah.
So Gulf Shore Life is mainly the lifestyle, like
Business. You got the guy with
elegance.
David Dorsey, I think is his name.
Yep, we got David Dorsey. There's another
He's
one.
pretty good. He's not a bad.
Tim Ayton, great. Atten, sorry, Tim. Every time. I'm sorry. But yeah, 73% of the market.
It's pretty good.
Pretty large.
Saturated.
But it is spread out across two broadcasting companies. It's not all under one umbrella. So, and I've been there for 12 years, man. And I don't know what the hell I would be doing if I wasn't there. To be completely, I'd be over here watching boats.
Just gonna say that.
Because
Put you to work.
If I ever get let go, if they're like, all right, we greatly appreciated working with you, Jake, but I think we're gonna go into another direction. I'm like, all right, see you on the water. Because I'm gonna come here one day. I'm just gonna show up. I've already got the shirt. It's not on, but I have it at home.
I know he come up one time, folks. He came in like a cowboy hat, like these big old glasses, and a shirt. And I was like, "Who is that? Is that like an ex-employee? He didn't turn in his shirt. That was legit." My thought. I was like, "Who is here?"
He had also never seen me with a beard.
Yeah, and I was like, "Who's it?" And he comes up. He's like, "It's Jake." I'm like, "Oh shit, dude!" Because I
He
was
looked like he wanted me dead.
I was just sitting there. I was like, "Who is this guy?"
Because I was over there with Larry at the
Yeah.
just chopping it up.
Yeah,
at
and he had a
tiki bar.
shirt on. I was like, "Is this like an old employee that just decided to show up at my open house for a free hamburger or something?"
He told me to come.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, it's Jake." I was like, "Oh, shit, dude. Sorry, man. Sorry." That's
Yeah.
funny. So it's good times.
And I kept the shirt. He
Yeah.
doesn't get it back.
It's good. He's been to the boat shows, help us out there, helped that out a couple times. You know how to sell the memberships. You know all the numbers.
I do. Like, just give me a brief rundown. What are the deals? What's the deals?
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Get them in. So, but yeah, man, this has been fun. It was good. Good. Kind of get the little backstory. We're going to Jake's life a little bit next time. Maybe get a little
That'd be a long one.
yeah, a little bit of piano life and all that stuff.
Yeah, I talked to you about, my mom being a exotic dancer, my dad being a DJ.
It's in a towboat, and your grandpa being a towboat captain.
Yeah, it's Tito Captain.
As Nugget chews up the ball over there. Good job, Nugget.
Good job, old Nugget.
So, but that's cool, man. I mean, we all have stories. It's all good.
Yeah, we get into my family roots here at some point. It's very deep. Runs back
Longer than mine.
Damn near 200 years.
It's crazy.
Most time when I talk to people about it, they don't even believe me. And it's like, I can pull up Ancestry and we can go back because I didn't believe it either.
Yeah, this is, his uncle was Tobias McIvy from The Land Remembered, if anybody knows what that is. So,
I don't know his reference.
but it's a book here about Florida, about Arcadia and stuff like that. It's pretty good. You should read it.
I need to get my hands on some of the books my grandma wrote. I know that they're at the history, that little White House.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? It's somewhere in Lee County. It's the Lee County History Museum.
Historical Society or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, there's a couple copies of her book there. I need to see if I can get some of those.
Cool, man. Right.
So,
well, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's sun's going down. Some
Just
boats
about.
out there. You can see our fleet. Come down, check out Baywater Boat Club and Rentals. Family owned and operated. And take a boat out. Easy way of boating. Stop by and see us. Come see Nugget. We're down here in Bonita Beach. That's 239-495-0455. 239-495-0455. If you want to call me, That's fine. That's
no,
all
we're
good.
cutting that out.
so just bleep it. Just bleep it.
I'll believe it. That's funner, actually.
Just bleep it.
Because people are like, what did he say?
Yeah. But thanks for tuning in. We'll keep these coming. Looking forward to it. Carny To Congress. Fun playing the name. We're having fun with it. Good. Jake, thanks, buddy. Later.